Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the show Spotlight. And yes, it's happening here on VOP TV, your favorite hub where we shine the light on creativity, culture, style, music, and purpose-driven people. And yes, I know you have not forgotten that I'm your special baby girl again, Precious Agumanu, aka Call Me Prezi. And guess what? Today is a new day and a new week to stay inspired and grounded because we are bringing you exciting blend of gist. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But guess what? We have a guest joining us today. And I know that your week has been so, some of us, our week has been busy. Some has gone for parties on Saturday. Some have enjoyed themselves during the week. And yes, we always have you said all play and no work makes who? Not me, but you. I'm just saying. All and time to we've all played, and it's also time to work. And today is Monday, and time to stay inspired. And today we have a guest joining us today. And guess what? Joining us today is a passionate gospel artist whose music carries a powerful message of faith, hope, and divine love. With a heart fully devoted to God and a voice anointed to uplift souls, Adegoke ministers through songs that inspires worship and that draws people closer to Christ. His sounds blends rich African rhythms with contemporary gospel expression, creating an atmosphere where lives are transformed and spirits are renewed. And yes, more than just a singer, Adegoke is a vessel committed to spreading the gospel through music, touching hearts across generations and cultures. His ministry reflects deep gratitude, unwavering faith, and a burning desire to see lives change through the power of praise and worship. And he is no other person than Prince Adegoke. Welcome to the show. I'm excited. How do you feel this morning? So tell me, how's the week been for you? Monday, Saturdays is always time. When they call Friday, everybody will be shouting, "Oh my God, it's Friday!" It's Friday. The party time and everybody is...
Exactly.
So tell me, did you enjoy yourself?
For me, the weekend is always very, very filled up. Lots of activities, especially church activities, music. You have rehearsals, you have recordings, you have personal worship time also. So all these things and Sunday service.
Basically, we are talking about your lemon life of rehearsal, walk. But is there any time for you to really take out time, relax, go out?
I do go out. I go to, fine dining sometimes.
Okay.
I also listen to music.
Nice, of course.
Good music. No, not necessarily church music.
Okay.
But good music. I go out. Times.
Okay, that's impressive. All right, before we go into what we have today, because we have a lot of questions, a lot of people have already started dropping. I need to know this. But then before we go into that, let me ask this one question.
Yes,
a lot of people face critics recently. Yeah. A lot of people do things that maybe they just come online and see things that people say a lot about them that are not true.
Yeah.
Have you been in such position before? And how did you come about it?
So for me, I think fortunately, I'm not a social media person, per se, so I don't really put out my, stuff out there like that, just for gist and stuff. And also, personally, I'm a very private person.
Okay. All these private people, it doesn't mean, see, social media is where a lot of things, and you might just be very quiet, and they're saying...
I know, that people make a lot of money.
And they're saying things about you, and you'll be worried like, oh my God, how did this just get...
Well, I guess whatever is not true or is not of good repute, the things that I do are things that are worthwhile. If you say things about me that are not valid, I might come out to,
address the issue.
Address it once and for all. It's not so. If you continue, it remains in my heart because I know it's not true.
Okay. You know why I'm saying this? Because something happened recently and someone had to call out Simi because of old tweets. I don't know if it's because people post things, growing up, a lot of youthful exuberance, a lot of people want to do things as a young person.
Yes.
So now I think she tweeted something about her mom owns a daycare. Yes. So I think she tweeted something about a young...
I saw it on X.
And my question is, why are people going to drag this one? Old tweets.
So she's been the eagle or in the high of the storm for a bit because of her comments about feminism and the lady that had the rape accusation.
The accusation,
but somebody made a comment also on X. I follow a lawyer, and what he said was that Simi, you might have said this I know that you didn't say it out of perversion.
Yeah.
But the truth is that you must be responsible for whatever it is you put out there.
You put out there, yeah.
So we cannot, I think that we cannot just allow that to be just because it was done some years ago.
Come on.
Take responsibility and say, okay, this was me that time, but that's not my true position.
Yes.
You need to clear the air.
Actually, because I feel that people need to know that it's not like everybody have their lives to live, yeah?
Absolutely.
So because Simi has been always a sweet person, a lot of people want to, say a lot of things. Like what is really nice? People coming out with fake reports about rape and the rest of them. I'm like, where did these people just sit down to cook up these lies and come out to say a lot of things? It's
the age that we are in. The devil is really, really, really working hard to distract us from the main goal. I think that's what I believe.
It's well. All right, I don't really want to talk much about that, but seriously, a lot of people, I just feel that this is my advice to some Nigerians, though, that they should mind how they speak to people and know the things they say to people. A lot of people have issues that are carrying. People, they walk out with depression up and down. So I feel that when we are nice to people, we don't say things that we're not sure.
So hurt them.
You don't bring out people, tarnish their image and try to, it's a lot. We should just do better. Well, that's a good one.
I agree.
All right, let's talk about music for you. Okay. So how's the journey been for you? Tell me.
So for me, music has always been a central part of my life. Funny enough, many people might not have heard this. I've done a lot of music. I started as a jazz enthusiast. I remember going to a studio. It was a studio that we had. A lot of jazz artists, we used to come there every Sunday to perform. So at a very young age, I was introduced to that kind of quality music. I don't want to mention names, but there are big wigs in the industry now. Even gospel artists, we used to come there to rehearse on a Sunday. So I was introduced to music from that. From there, I now started church music. After church music, I've done juju music. I've done backup. I've done.
That's nice. That's a Fuji.
I've done that. But now I'm fully devoted to the calling because that was what I received. So
wow, that's
purely
nice.
Gospel music. But if you listen to my music, it's always infused with cultural, rich culture, African culture.
So at what point or what time did you notice that that you knew that music was your calling?
Okay, so if for somebody who grew up in church, literally, people always say, "Oh, you have a good voice. I think you should do music." But music has always been a central part of my life. Although I have a secular calling, I do pharmaceutical sales, and that's what I do, 9 to 5. But music for me used to be something that we needed to do in church. But recently, I think it was about 6-7 years ago, I had a direct call. And my opinion about calling is that not everybody will be called to do specific things. I received mine, and I know why. And I know what to do. So, and it also informs a lot of things that people say. Why we argue a lot about people charging money, people don't charge money. Someone who's not called to do that might not understand why they don't need to charge money.
I'll come back to that. So I'd love to ask this question. Concerning music, how did you discover that? Because a lot of you said you've been into Fuji, you've been into a lot of genres of music. So why did you choose gospel? Why did you just come to say, I want to do gospel, basically?
Okay, so for me, there's something that I've been doing a lot. If you look at, if there's a weightage, say, okay, your secular music journey, your juju music journey, and church music, which is the one that you have done most. So the church would come high. But people, I didn't go into, or I didn't decide to just choose this because it's the one I do most, because every Sunday you have to sing and all that. But it's because of I think I received a calling. The calling is to say that the harvest is ripe. It's just simple words. The harvest is ripe. God needs laborers, more laborers in the vineyard. That's all.
Okay. So tell me, I know growing up you must have listened to a lot of people that have really inspired you.
A lot.
So could you tell us some of them?
A lot of music. I listen to different types of music. I listen to jazz, Duke Ellington. I listen to, in the gospel space, I listen to Sheyi Shalagbade. I listen to Ebenezer Obey, Sonny Ade. Recently, I really love Sinach. I listen to Nathaniel Bassey, Dunsin Oyekan, BBO.
Yeah, BBO.
Oh my
BBO
God, everybody.
yeah. So I guess they've really inspired you. So, but why did you choose the set of people? Like, why did you keep listening to their songs?
So
what really made the difference?
I like intentionality, excellence, and I like staying true to what you believe. Staying true to what you believe. So if you look at these people, these are people who have created a niche for themselves in what they do. So listen to Natalie Bassey's song, for example. You know that there is a lot of work that has gone into even rehearsing and having to do that which he's doing. It's not that they just came because it's God's work and they do it with mediocrity. Everybody that knows me knows that there's a lot of work that go into what we do. I would do it as though I'm presenting it to God himself. And that's why I really love that. If you look at their crafts, it's been excellently crafted. You look at the mix, you look at the instrumentation, the writing of the songs, everything. There's intentionality for excellence in what they do. And I love that.
Wow. So I've listened to so many of your songs and they are really, really inspiring. Like I listen to them and I'm like, oh my God. So this question is basically for you. So why you wrote all your songs, right?
Yes, I did.
Wow, amazing. So tell us, what really inspired you in writing those songs? Because the lyrics are not just the normal write-ups about, you want to do gospel. But a lot of people just want to do one thing about gospel, but it's so different. So what really made that so different?
That's very correct. Yes. So if you're not doing, so I feel gospel is talking about Jesus Christ. Now, how do you communicate with people who already have a mental block when you come and say, this is worship, let's raise up your hand and all that?
Yeah.
How do you communicate with them? You can't just communicate to them to things that they see, their experiences, how they live through life, and put it through the prism of the Word of God. That's what I do. For example, that song is Garments. So I twist it and say that what would happen? How would the discussion have gone? Imagine that the disciples were here and they were having a conversation with the woman with the issue of blood. What would the scene have looked like? So in that context, I draw my inspiration from those kind of things. I look at it from another perspective and relay my message.
Nice. So tell me, what message does your songs really pull out to Christians, to Nigerians, to people?
So my song is songs of hope, song of faith, song of strong belief in the ways and the thoughts of Jesus Christ. I always say that, this life I live currently, even all of us, as many that believe or call yourself Christians, is not ours. Because that life that we had that was condemned died with Jesus.
Yes.
Once you are baptized, what you have now is a substituted one of Jesus Christ. So if Jesus were here, how would I live? That's what I want myself to communicate.
So in all your songs, I have listened to them. Which particular song would you say? Because a lot of people definitely put in all your work, all the energy, all the inspiration, everything into the songs.
Yes.
So tell me, which one would you say, I always love singing this song and it reminds me of something. Which particular song is so memorable for you?
Okay, so that would be, I love of them. But I love this song, And Sorrow, because it speaks to me directly.
Okay.
Speaks to me directly. So And Sorrow is a story of repentance, but it's just talking about, imagine both of us are here and we're just gisting, normal gist.
Yeah.
And the preacher walks in and says, come take, receive Jesus and all that. And our response to the person is saying, come on, we were talking about what is happening on earth. We are talking about a place you have not been to. I say, okay, barman, please, let's continue our gist. So that's what, and the song speaks to me directly. Because many of us will live our life as though it's on autopilot. That this gospel or this thing we are talking about, we can defy it. No, I'm not ready now. Let me just chop life. Let me do this. Let me continue drinking. Let me fornicate a little bit. Jesus can't wait. And it speaks to me. So every day I also remind myself, I like singing the song a lot. My private.
So could you do it for us? We'd like to hear it because a lot of people are listening.
So my voice today, but I'll try.
All right.
So the song says, And sorrow ìlú tá wà, ẹ̀yin sọ̀rọ̀ ìlú tá dé rí, ẹṣin tá pa ó mọ́mọ́ lójú sọ́jà o, kèrègbè gbé mi nìṣó.
Oh, wow, interesting. Wow. So tell me, I would love to go back to the question we actually wanted to ask before about gospel ministers and gospel artists not, taking some funds from churches because of,
Yes.
So basically, I'll make reference to Tim Godfrey.
Yeah.
He made a statement recently and said that the reason why he doesn't attend if they invite him to churches in Nigeria, that the reason he doesn't attend churches is because that the honorarium that's always given to him when he's done ministering and the rest of them is always chicken. He made mention of chicken and yams, and he was like, are we going to train our children with this? Are we going to take care of our families with this? So I would like to ask that question right now. How do you feel about, gospel artists and gospel ministers being given honorarium? Is it okay for you? Because a lot of people say, oh, they're your Christians. You're doing this thing for Christ, so you don't need to take money. So what's your own point? And
so honorarium, the origin of the word is honor. And that is what everybody who talks about Christ should be accrued with. Somebody's coming to pay, it's render a service.
A service, yes.
And to lift your minds up and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's only natural. It's normal for whoever has invited them to honor them with whatever substance they have. The challenge, like you mentioned, there's a difference between an artist and someone who's been called to minister.
Okay.
Now, if someone remains an artist, an artist can sing gospel songs.
Okay.
But a minister is not necessarily an artist. An artist, somebody who wants to blow, I want to make money from it, can say and decide that it's gospel. That's the channel. My channel to achieve all the things I want to achieve is through gospel songs. Just the same way you can say it's through secular songs, or it's through, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's through makeup or artistry, whatever it is. That's the channel they choose. They have the gift, but they want to choose talking about, that's the choice now, because they have the gift. Now, it's different from somebody who was called to minister. Now, look at it this way. So what if the church that has called me to minister, do not have the funds to bring me, or they don't have enough? Would I not go if I'm called to do it? Would I differentiate and say the ones that have so amount, those are the only places where I can minister? That's not the work of a minister.
So you're trying to say that Tim Godfrey is...
No. I'm saying, I don't know. I'm saying that we place too much emphasis. And if you look at it, so we talk about Jesus a lot.
Yes.
And we don't really trust him that much.
Okay.
Bible says that if us, earthly fathers, as wicked as we are, we know how to give our children good things, how much so our Father who is in heaven, he will provide. I don't know where, I don't know how. I've seen it happen in my life. I've seen it happen in people's life. He will make the provision. But I don't judge. If you're an artist, that's really fine. That's okay. That's very okay.
All right. So how would you describe your relationship with God, and how has it helped you through the journey?
It's I think the first thing is for me, if you ask me, it's gratitude, because I'm undeservedly, being graced to be called by his name. Yeah. It is undeserving by any stretch of the word. And because of that, I'm very grateful to God for that, for the grace. I strive every day. I want to always do the will. I try to ask him and find out what it is per time. If you have a close relationship, you will know what he wants to do at a particular time, and you strive towards doing that. That's what I try to do.
Wow. So you've ministered in a lot of churches, and how do you really prepare before going on stage and talking to people or speaking to people?
Some people that know me now, they will laugh. So I love excellence. So if I have a ministration or whatever, it's a performance, I have a set list. So prepare a set list. We do everything. We rehearse, everything is tight. But more often than not, if we get to the platform, we change it. So I always go with the flow. That's why we study to show ourselves approved. We have different set lists. If I get there, my choir people will even, if they listen, they will say, Goke does not adhere. Once we do this one, I might just go to another song, but we have rehearsed it. We don't just do songs that's why you prepare. You prepare a lot so that you can have from the retinue of the songs that you have.
Yeah.
If the spirit is leaning towards this direction, you go there.
Wow, that's interesting. So what are the challenges you faced? Maybe so it's like in your ministry, what are the challenges you've seen so far?
So these are the regular challenges. Number one, it's the expectation. Expectation. So people have an expectation when they call maybe a music minister to come.
Yeah.
And that's why many people play to the gallery. You know, people expect that, okay, we have called you, we have seen you do praise and worship somewhere before. So, and everywhere was, that's what we want you to do here. So if you don't know how, that's one of the main challenges.
Yeah.
Because you have to also balance the expectation. They called you to some, but, you know, it's always good to maintain that kind of balance. Secondly, is to find people who have like minds like yours, you know, to do the work, you know. That's not to say that you won't pay them, you know. That's not to say that they will not be properly compensated. I'll try to do that, you know, but to have like minds, because two cannot work except they agree. You know, one cannot be turning towards this direction, and the other pulling towards. So that's also a challenge. The third challenge is, you know, in the industry, even the gospel industry, there's still a bit of, you know, segregation, if I may say that. People who are known continuously, you know, called upon.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't matter still. You know, whether it's two people, three people that your music reach out to, if God has done his work, then that's okay by me.
Okay, so another question. What has been the most memorable moments for you in the music scene? I know definitely it's not all the spirit.
No, it's not. It's so if you do a set list and you come off the stage and you see joy radiates in the hearts of people, or, you know, a miracle happens or breaks out, or joy just erupts, you know, it makes me really, really happy. It makes me very happy.
Talking about that, have you been? What are the testimonies you've seen so far, and which one really struck your mind, and you can't get easy to forget about it?
I think a lot. But there's this one. And it was not even publicized. You know, there was a concert. It was a revival that we went for. There was an elderly man. You know, the elderly man had accepted faith. He had arthritis, osteoarthritis, I think. So he couldn't walk with his right leg. He was using this walker and all that. And he didn't even announce. I was backstage. Just called me. He was working. He didn't use his walker, and he said he was doing the worship. So for me, that's also an indication that, you know, God will do what God will do. You might not necessarily need you to announce him, you know. And I know that there will be a lot of miracles like that, especially if, you know, God wanted to do it at that particular time.
So how do you see yourself in the next, let's say, 5 years from now?
So in the next 5 years, I want to, you know, just saying as God, I'm available. You know, send me, use me to any extent. I think that music would have gone to several other places. I know that we are moving into new climes now, you know, starting from Europe to Central America very, very soon. It's just to say that, just paint, you know, people, gospel music in a way that is not too, people that can't repel at first instance, you know. You know, there's a way you can go to and say, let me play this worship song. And somebody says, no, I'm not doing that now. But you have another kind of music, it comes in another way. They can listen, this is fine music. It's even gospel, you know. So that's what we want.
So I listened to some of your praise songs too, because I've been talking basically about the worship, and it's about, I think the song is Mbaba or Yibaba also. Yes, so I would love you to do the song, because I listened and listened and listened. I think that really blessed me. So
that's a good song. Okay, this is my voice. So it's Yibaba, 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 Iwo komi Yibaba, Yoluwa, Yoluwa, Yoluwa. Aláyé ọkàn ẹ̀yin Olúwa, fi ṣe wífẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹ̀yin, fún àánú rẹ̀ o ẹ̀yin, ẹ máa yin Olúwa, gbogbo ènìyàn ẹ̀yin Olúwa.
Oh my! See, I don't know how you would talk about Yoruba songs and the rest of them. See, I don't be Yoruba, but each time I listen to songs like this, I just feel, even when I don't hear what they're saying, I just feel so happy to listen.
Music is a universal language.
But you could interpret for us. Let's
yes,
know.
So it's a psalm. It's a psalm actually. It's Psalm 149. Say, praise the Lord, oh my soul, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. For His goodness, praise Him. For His wonderful works, praise Him. Let us praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord.
What inspired you writing the song?
So this song is one of the funny ones. So I received the song in its entirety. I was sleeping. I just the full thing, the full ensemble.
Songs,
I heard it. I woke up. I just recorded. I recorded some of the new movements and all that. So sometimes we receive songs like that.
Okay. All right. And we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we still have a Jacob with all. And I'm sure you're enjoying yourself because I am too. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's a boy that's shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers boy ever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
And welcome back to the show Spotlight. Yes, it's happening here on VOP TV. And yes, I'm still your baby girl, Precious Agumanu, aka Call Me Prezi. And we still have Jacob with us. And we'll be talking about a lot of things about music, gospel music, and the rest of them. And it's really, really interesting. And I'm enjoying myself, and I'm sure you are too. So back to Jacob. So tell me, a lot of people that go through a lot of things, because right now a lot of people are facing depression, are facing a lot of things. Things are happening to people. A lot of people are going through things. So what is your advice for them currently, the situations that people can't see their self-solving, people can't... Recently, I even read a story of how a lady killed herself. She committed suicide because she was owing a debt of 500,000 or so. So it's crazy how people see suicide as something so easy to go about. So let's hear from you.
So that's a very concerning thing, especially at this time. I think that there's a spirit of depression that has been just unleashed to the world. People see that when anything happens, worry starts. And there's a way out. Jesus already told us that by worrying, you can't do anything. One of the most complex things that can happen to a man happened in the book of Exodus. Permit me to say. So somebody, they were already enjoying in the captive's land. One guy came and said, let me take you away from here. Right? And they got to a point. They were in front of the Red Sea, and the chariots were also trailing them. You know what God said? God told Moses, hold on, be still, don't do anything. And today you will see the salvation of the Lord. I think at any point, what we need to do is just to stay, wait, because God is able to do anything.
Yeah.
It's just that across any religion, we believe that God is able to save, He's powerful.
Yeah.
Why not relax, go to Him, and more often than not, He will make a way. He'll make a way.
So when you said hold on, there's a song that I actually watched. So
yeah.
I think I listened to that song.
Yeah.
So what's it all about?
So that song is also, it's the same thing. And he was even talking to me personally.
Yeah.
I had a difficult experience, sometime last year, even before then. So sometime last year was, I had a very difficult experience. But during that travail, I heard the word that just hold on, Jehovah will make a way. Hold on, Jehovah will make a way. That's it.
So tell me, would you want to share the experience you had?
Okay, so last year, my wife went to be with the Lord. Before then, she was hospitalized for a bit. During the time, I had, when you do these things, you always feel that, God, I've been serving you, I've been praying, I've been doing all these things. It was a very, turbulent time. But during that time also, we had that word saying, hold on.
A lot of people are listening to you right now, and they imagine how you're able to, still cope up with all this. So what's your advice for young and upcoming gospel ministers that want to really go into gospel ministry and do the things of God, despite what they're facing right now?
Yeah.
So what would be your advice to them?
Yeah. Number one is that God is not a wicked being.
Yeah.
He loves us. So He loves us. He does not do bad. So if you understand that about Him, you will know that everything works together for good. You see, one of the things that just keeps me going is that God wants our soul even more than the work that He wants us to do. So that you are the best pianist or the best singer in the world. If God sees that this soul is might perish, He would rather take the soul immediately and not let him to face corruption. So those things, you need to just understand the way God operates. And this world that we are in is just a very testimal time, time frame compared to where we're going to. So if you understand that, so everyone, who is facing a bit of, just hold on, we have hope. If we were without hope, then that's a problem. We're not those without hope, we have hope. We know that anything can change in a twinkling of an eye.
Yeah.
It can turn your situation around without any recourse to you. And that's what keeps.
Wow, that's interesting. So tell me, as a 9 to 5 worker, I heard when you were saying, I work 9 to 5, and there's this saying that they said 9 to 5 people that they're always so tired on Mondays and all this kind of stress. So tell me, how were you able to, juggle both going to work, working, and also doing music?
I think I've been strengthened by the Lord. But for me, even if I'm very tired, if it's music, then the strength, energy comes back. It's music. And my work is not necessarily even 9 to 5, it's sales. So sales is every time.
Okay.
But, we have to do what we have to do. I love music, actually.
So tell me, if Adegoke is not in the music scene, what would Adegoke be doing?
I might be playing football.
See, I don't know. Like recently, okay, what club are you?
I'm in Manchester United.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I don't want to say anything. Let me just keep quiet. Before they will not drag. Before they will drag me. Okay, so we're still talking about music and the fun things. What are the little fun things that that you've actually done that are really memorable to you? Apart from playing football and...
So I watch football. I used to play computer games. I don't know how God took that from me, from my palate. I don't like it anymore.
Wait, how God took that from you?
I'll tell you.
That's weird. What's the relationship between
God
playing...
No, it's time. It's time. You can sit with a computer game and play for 4 hours.
Oh, wow. And I think that's something you're addicted to. Very addicted to.
So computer games can be very addictive. Very addictive. Do you play computer games?
Not really, but I could
play.
try.
You see people that really play. Like if I say I play, I used to really play. I used to use money to even play.
So I would love to hear the story. So tell me, how did you come up with
So I can't even say, because even my friends, when I go to their house and they have the computer game and they are playing, I just see myself not really playing anymore. And that's one thing. Even the football,
Yeah.
right? I used to be a very, very, deep, passionate Manchester United supporter.
Yeah.
You find that, God changes your palate. When you keep, if He will substitute with something else,
Of course.
you just find affinity for something else because He wants you in that direction. I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm saying that He would just change your palate. If someone had asked me when I was Manchester United, I know the stats. I don't think I've even seen more than 2 matches this season. So that's the way.
So, you know what I'm saying this? A lot of people, okay, there was a story I heard, and it's about a guy that actually got addicted to, he loves football, but he got addicted to betting and, even his transport fare,
Exactly.
his rent, he got so broke. And my question is, why? Normally, people, they bet and they cash out. So what comes with this spirit that keeps making people, want to bet, put all their money in something and get so stranded that they can't even help themselves?
So the book of Ecclesiastes says so. It says the man that fears God avoids all extremes. Unfortunately, these are sectors that want you to be extreme.
Yeah.
So they channel their marketing towards extremity. Anything that drives you towards extreme has a tendency to make you sin. So, and that's the danger. There's another danger now.
Yes.
It's about blowing. So we already have the formula, right?
Yes.
So if I breathe a song, I'm not trying to controversial. I release a song, whatever song it is.
Yes.
Right? I feel that if I do content and do this, many people will. But is that really, really? Because it's an extreme.
Yes.
So it means that anybody who wants to churn out anything can do that. So I always try to avoid all extremes, whatever extreme, whether to the right or even to the left.
Okay. So tell us, what legacy would you love to leave behind in your ministry?
Excellence. I love excellence. Excellence. So people listen to the music and say, this is not a lazy person. Even if what he's saying is Jesus is Lord, he has said it in a way that even the captains of the industry, you bring a music maestro, they listen to the music, they'll know that there's a lot of work that was done into this. There's a level of mastery of the music in itself that you have put into it. I like that.
All right. Thank you so much, Adegoke, for sharing your light here with us on the Spotlight Show. All right, we'll take a short break. And when we come back, we'll have our gist. And I'm sure you're excited about that part. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
And welcome back to the show Spotlight happening here on VOP TV. And I know you've not forgotten that I'm your special baby girl, Precious Agumanu, aka Call Me Prezi. And yes, we had Adegoke with us that talked about music and gospel music. And yes, this is the time where we talk about stories, things that are happening in Nigeria. And first off, we're talking about Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has reportedly added a 2026 GAC Trumpchi M8 SUV to her luxury car collection just weeks after gifting her mother 2 brand new Jeeps for Valentine's Day. So the high-end SUV estimated to worth around 150 million was presented to the actress during a surprise moment on a movie set, drawing cheers and admiration from colleagues and fans alike when footage of the wheel circulated online. So the acquisition has generated buzz across social media, with admirers praising her success and generosity through the actress. Though the actress herself has not publicly confirmed, she actually came out to say a lot of things concerning this. And even Sammy West, her brother, actually came out to say things concerning this. And my thought about Regina Daniels' new ride is a lot. Who no go breathe for this kind of thing? I beg go. See, after the whole, 2025 was a whole lot of, drama with Daniels, and a lot, both the family, a lot of people are just collecting back from, but come to see that this 2026, she came out bigger, better, and, she just wants to pepper people, but this is beautiful. Getting her mother 2 luxurious cars on the street in 1 month. I beg, if we dey shout this money na waiting. Make we dey hear am. Money na waiting. This money na water, but this is really, really interesting, and it's beautiful to see. Come on, the car is so beautiful. And yes, say our fans don't come out. Comment section people don't come out to talk plenty things concerning Regina Daniels and her new acquisition. So yes, let's go over to the comment section and take some comments and see what people have actually come out to say concerning her. And yes, Angel Bliss 001 said, "Congrats, my Gina." And Harry said, "Congratulations, my queen." And Rita B said, "I am thrilled. Congratulations." Tia Uzo said, "I am thrilled. Congratulations." And Tia Uzo said, "I love my queen." And Norma Azolukwam said, "When your destiny is to be rich forever, that's how it goes." And Paula Ifunaya said, "Blessed child." Let's take more comments. A lot of people are so happy for Regina Daniels and the new car she got. So let's take more comments and see what people are talking about. And Onyi herself said, "Silence moves loudest result. Abio, Big G, not the little one. Biggest congratulations, queen." And Bright Angel said, "So far, my baby looks happy. I'm happy." All right, Plastic Ulo said, whether she marry Ned or not, she has been destined to be rich. And Chinwe said, "Congratulations, clock it, Asa." And Ronika said, "Congratulations, may God continue to bless you and your family." And another person said, "Go prepare another lawsuit. Congratulations, and Regina Daniels, small girl with a big God." Abio. All right, let's take more comments. A lot of people are congratulating Regina Daniels on her new acquisition after just few weeks after getting her mom her own luxury car. She just got a new ride that is. All right, Bright said, "Except a thunderous press release from Grandpa. Go girl, you're a superstar. Nothing can dim your light. We love you, die." All right, and another person said, "One person go soon write long epistle. Congratulations, star girl." And another person said, "See as you supposed treat our Nigerian baby. Gina is our Nigerian baby. We love her. She can never be wrong in our eyes." Let's take more comments. A lot of people are talking about this before we go over to our next story. And yes, another person said, Rejoice Johnson said, she's busy winning. Her destiny is to be rich forever, and I love it for her." And another person said, "Before buying for herself, she bought for her mommy. She's such a girl." And let's talk about the fact that Gina loves her mother. And even through all this, all these whole issues that she had 2025, it actually brought she and her mother so close, because she is very, in fact, she loves her mother. I think that's the right word to say. And when you see your daughter winning, it's so blessed. The feeling is something that I can't even really explain. Like, I get when a mother says, "Oh, that my daughter is doing well and she has this to get me this." Mothers, we are trust us, women, we get too dramatic. Once our child is doing something better and we are so happy, everybody will hear it. And trust the fact that she actually came out to, celebrate her daughter and say, "Oh, my Ada, thank you for getting me this." It was just like, it's just seeing her, she's just filled with so much joy. And trust me, mothers and parents, it's good that parents see their children doing better things for themselves, achieving something very beautiful. And talking about Regina Daniels and her mom, they are just beautiful to watch, the both of them, to see that, that even through the storms and everything, they are still together. So last, if you want to do everything, family will still be family. All right, let's take more comments and see what people are saying about Regina Daniels' acquisition and the new vehicle she bought. And yes, Rejoice Johnson said she's busy winning. Her destiny is to be rich forever, and I love it for her. And the Express said before buying for herself, she bought for her mommy. Such a sweet girl. And another person said, congratulations. I am that Johnson said, my baby is effortlessly beautiful. Let me pray for you again. Adamara Machineke Gagozigi, all the days of your life. Keep smiling. Anyone that attempts to steal your joy will never know peace. Love you. Congratulations on the new whip. Any child that takes care of their mother must be taken care of. And yes, this is just my advice for you. Please, if your parents are still alive, do well, to make them smile the way Regina Daniels did. I'm just saying, because it's beautiful to see that, my child is doing this, my child is doing this. Yes, it's actually beautiful to see parents witness their children doing great and beautiful things more than they did. And yes, this is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you so much for staying with us on the Spotlight Show. And yes, remember, if you're going viral or going global, please stay true to your stories and don't forget to tell them with heart. And yes, don't forget to follow us on all our social media handle at VOPTV Live and subscribe to our channels for more exciting episodes and updates. And until next time, I am Precious Agumanu, aka call me Prezi. This has been Spotlight. See you next time.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news, we analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Journalists from various media outlets gathered for a specialized training aimed at strengthening business and economic reporting, facilitated by the Media Career Development Network (MCDN) in collaboration with the United States Consulate General. Speaking at the training, Executive Director Lekan Otufodunrin, alongside other facilitators, stressed the importance of journalists deepening their understanding of economic policies, data interpretation, and financial literacy to enhance accurate and impactful reporting.
The idea is to ensure that there is a pass down of some of this knowledge and we can interact. So as much as possible, this is not a lecture. This is just some engagement, some reminders, some pointers, some things that can stimulate you to look at some of the things you are doing differently.
Today's session on business and economics reporting is especially timely. Just 2 weeks ago, we convened the U.S.-Nigeria Commercial and Investment Partnership Ministerial Meeting here in Lagos, reaffirming our 5-year Memorandum of Understanding to expand trade, investment, and private sector-led economic growth. The U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary Bradley McKinney and Nigeria's Minister of Industry, Trade, and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Odewole, co-chaired discussions at the event on how to deliver tangible, long-term improvements to the business environment and remove barriers to trade and investment in 3 priority areas, which are agriculture, digital economy, and infrastructure.
Here at the U.S. Consulate and the U.S. Mission in Nigeria, it's really important for us to provide support to journalists. Freedom of speech is one of the things that the United States is founded on. I'm not sure if many of you know, but this is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. So we are, throughout the year, celebrating all of these things in our foundings that really made the United States what it is today. And one of them is freedom of speech that continues to be upheld by journalists.
The essence of a training like this is to enable us to understand some of the things that should be in our stories. So money, we follow the money. Well, that's what we do. That's the summary of what we do. We follow the money. So anytime the deal is struck, you hear that Julius Berger is building a road over there. If I were you, I would go there and find out exactly how much the contract is worth.
Participants at the clinic expressed appreciation for the hands-on sessions, describing the training as timely and practical, especially in helping journalists navigate complex economic issues and simplify them for public understanding.
When business journalists actually do well in their job and armed with enough data and this used to actually process the information, then we can do better and more impactful reporting that even benefits the society and everyday people in the country.
Interplays of everything that happens in the economy, affect every household, affect every Nigerian. That's why we have to begin to hold our job in high esteem and take every data, scrutinize it, follow up, and understand these things and speak to analysts if we do not really understand.
I think it's very important that some of the things that we learn today we're taught to people who are on the front line of journalism. So today, basically one key takeaway is that facts are very, very important, and journalists generally play a huge role in how much development comes to Nigeria in the economic sector.
Following the training, journalists say they are better equipped to deliver insightful, data-driven and solution-focused business and economic reports that can contribute meaningfully to national development. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
News breaks and events happens. We bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every
Hello and welcome to the African News on the Voice of the People television. I'm Chioma Innocent. Before we begin, kindly visit our website. It's www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. And for WhatsApp, the number is 0904-473-2605. Now the news. Chad has closed its eastern border with Sudan following clashes linked to Sudan's civil war, which killed 5 Chadian soldiers over the weekend. The conflict between Sudan's army and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has periodically spilled into Chad, causing casualties and damage. The clashes in the border town of Tin involved RSF and militia fighters loyal to Sudan's government, killing 5 soldiers and 3 civilians, with 12 people wounded. Chad's government cited repeated incursions and violations by Sudan's warring parties as the reason for the border closure. The Chadian government also said the move aims to prevent the conflict from spreading further into Chad and to protect civilians, cross-border movements, and suspended with exemptions for humanitarian reasons. In the meantime, Sudan's government has denounced Uganda for hosting Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, leader of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, calling the meeting an affront to humanity. The Sudanese Foreign Ministry, aligned with the nation's armed forces, accused Uganda of flouting international law by welcoming Dagalo, whose fighters are accused of committing widespread atrocities in the ongoing civil war. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni met with Dagalo, also known as Hemeti, at his presidential home in Entebbe at the weekend, emphasizing the need for a peaceful political solution. Museveni, who was appointed by the African Union to mediate between Sudan's military and the RSF, has warned against identity politics and stressed the importance of shared interests. Now, this report indicates that Somalia's Information Minister, Daoud Awais, has announced that 17 al-Shabaab commanders were neutralized over the past 6 months. Awais reaffirmed the government's commitment to counter terrorism in a statement posted on social media platform X. The minister also stated that al-Shabaab terrorists who renounce violence and join rehabilitation programs would be granted amnesty. Al-Shabaab, an al-Qaeda affiliate terror group, has been waging an insurgency against the Somali government for over 16 years, targeting security forces, officials, and civilians. In another development, a family Kasarani, Nairobi, Kenya, is seeking help to repatriate the body of Peter Maina Gakau, a 33-year-old civil servant who was killed in the Russia-Ukraine war. Gakau, stationed at the General Service Unit GSU barracks in Embu, allegedly traveled to Russia to fight in the war while on holiday. While seeking assistance to bring Gakau's body back to Kenya for burial, the family is also questioning how Gakau, a government employee, was able to leave the country for months without the government's knowledge or response to their inquiries. Miner's brother expressed frustration, saying the family wants answers on how he left the country undetected. Moving on, Bellarmine Mugabe, the youngest son of Zimbabwe's late former president Robert Mugabe, has been formally charged with attempted murder in a South African court. The 28-year-old was arrested after a 23-year-old man was shot at a property in Johannesburg's upscale Hyde Park suburb. Bellarmine Mugabe and his bodyguard face additional charges, including defeating the ends of justice related to a missing firearm. Police found bullet cartridges but not gun. The victim remains in critical condition. The case was postponed to March 3 for a bail application. Bellarmine's father, Robert Mugabe, led Zimbabwe for 37 years before being ousted in 2017 and died in 2019. Meanwhile, a civil society group, Activists and Citizens Forum, has called on authorities to handle the attempted murder case linked to Bellarmine Mugabe, son of Robert Mugabe, as a serious criminal matter. The appeal follows Bellarmine Mugabe's arrest and that of another man after a gardener was shot at the Mugabe family home in Hyde Park, Johannesburg. The group spokesperson, Denning Bloem, emphasized that authorities must ensure the accused don't receive preferential treatment, saying justice must be served. The office of suspended First Vice President Dr. Riek Machar has formally questioned the United Nations Department of Safety and Security, UNDSS, over its use of the term former First Vice President in a recent security broadcast. The reference has raised serious legal and political concerns as Machar remains under suspension pending the outcome of his ongoing trial. In a statement, Porkboth Baluang, acting press secretary in the office of the First Vice President and spokesperson for the SPLM-IO, asked if the UN agency was referring to Machar or another individual. The statement requested that UNDSS clarify the basis on which it concluded that Machar had been removed from office if the reference was indeed to him. The controversy stems from a security advisory issued by UNDSS announcing the postponement of Machar's trial, which was scheduled for February 23, 2026. Meanwhile, South Sudan's government has called on Egypt and Sudan to participate in the Cooperative Framework Agreement, CFA, a treaty aimed at ensuring equitable utilization and sustainable management of the Nile River. 7 countries, including Ethiopia, Rwanda, South Sudan, Uganda, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, have endorsed the CFA, which became effective on October 13, 2024. Egypt and Sudan have not signed the accord, citing concerns that it disproportionately grants rights to the Nile River based on colonial-era treaties. On Sunday, South Sudan's Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, James Marwich Makwach, urged Egypt, Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Kenya to join the agreement, emphasizing the need for cooperative management of the Nile's resources. The CFA aims to promote equitable and reasonable utilization of the Nile River's water resources, with signatory countries committing to cooperate on matters related to the river's management. Elsewhere, Ethiopia and Eritrea are bracing for potential war, with escalating tensions along their shared border in the Tigray region. Landlocked Ethiopia's push for Red Sea access is seen as a provocation by Eritrea, fueling fears of conflict. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has framed access to the Red Sea as an existential matter, sparking concerns of military action. Eritrea views this as a threat, and tensions have been exacerbated by alleged border incursions and support for armed groups. Reports say the situation is further complicated by internal divisions within Ethiopia and Eritrea's history of conflict. The international community has urged the escalation and dialogue to prevent a devastating war. You're watching the African News on Voice of the People Television. We're now being joined by public affairs analyst Barrister Darlington Agomo for the analysis segment on the African News this afternoon. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Afternoon, and how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I hope you are having a good day and you had a good weekend. Now, there's some people who are not having a good day and they've not had a good day in a very long while. I'm talking about the war that is going on in Sudan. Sudan is not happy that the leader of the Rapid Support Forces was hosted by the Ugandan president, even though the Ugandan president was actually given the mandate by the African Union to bolster peace efforts within the Rapid Support Forces, that's the rebel forces, and the Sudanese government. Although they say they understand that Uganda is trying to mediate, but hosting the rebel leader at the presidential palace sends a wrong signal, and also it also spells infractions to international peace. Is this something you agree with, or will you say Sudanese government is acting on emotion based on the number of people who have unfortunately died as a result of this long drawn-out war?
I agree that the AU asked him to foster peace, but why host a rebel group alone? If you wanted to make peace, are they not supposed to include the Sudanese government? That is one aspect of it. The other aspect is that I don't have issues if somebody is hosting the rebel leader, but it must not be a Uganda president, Yoweri Museveni, who is seen as a C-type president, who is not a good leader, who have been suppressing and intimidating opponents in his country. He is not the ideal candidate to host that peace meeting. It's like two of a kind. No, it's like two of a kind. I don't know what Yoweri is going to preach to a rebel leader when he is an example of a bad government, an example of intimidating opponent, an example of destroying democracy and all that. So he's not supposed to be the one to host him. That is just my take. And to host him in his own country home.
Do you think the African Union did not consider if he was the right person or not before giving him the mandate to start working on these peace efforts? I understand when you say he's not supposed to host just the rebel leader, he's supposed to also get officials from Sudan's government. You understand? That is understandable. But saying he's not the right person, what makes him the wrong person?
I just listed why. He's not a peaceful man. Going by what he did to the opponent in the last election in December, I don't think he's the right person. He's a bad influence to good governance. And so hosting a rebel group, I don't know what he's going to tell the rebel leader. In fact, the rebel leader will be surprised to see him hosting him, because I don't even think that rebel leader has respect for Yoweri Museveni. I don't know of any African who has a respect for Yoweri Museveni. Going by what he did in the last election and what he has been doing to opponents or opposition in Uganda, and how he has been thwarting democracy in Uganda. So, I mean, I've given you more than enough reason why I think he shouldn't be the person. There are other people that are near credibility in Africa, whom the AU would have mandated to host that peace meeting. Yes, there are other people in Africa. The South African man is there, and other leaders you can vote for. So why Yoweri Museveni That is the question. What is that thing that made the AU to, or he's the one that volunteered to host the peace move just to clean up his bad image? I'm thinking that he was the one that volunteered to host it. That's what I think here.
But if the African Union saw him as a fit candidate, I mean, if, whether he volunteered or not, if he volunteered, the African Union assented to his volunteering. What is important is that peace returns to the country.
Peace cannot return when rebel groups are not dictating the terms. Because I know he went there, he must have given Yoweri Museveni some conditions and all that. That is not my idea of peace. So, left to me, I would have said the Sudanese government should rat them out. Already, the Sudanese government is up upon her because the capital, Khartoum, has come back to life. Governance has returned to Khartoum now. And so the rebel group are nowhere to be found. They are now in disarray. This is the time for government to rat them out. And you are talking of peace.
Well, we need to talk about peace because this is the leader of the rebel forces. He's hale and hearty. He can move from one part of the world to another. But women, children, young men, people are suffering due to this war. Let's not even talk about just the mental and psychological effects of this war, but the fact that women are being raped, children are being killed, men are being killed. These people are literally making these incursions. The African Union wants to see to it that peace comes to the nation. If he invites the Sudanese government to the negotiating table or to the peace table, would that make this better?
If I were the Sudanese government, I will not attend that peace move because I have said it. This is an ego.
What if he had invited them first before inviting the rebel leader? Would that make any difference? Or invited them to sit and face each other?
That's what I'm telling you. I wouldn't go for such a meeting because I didn't see why a rebel group, will be fighting me, the authentic government. What are they even looking for? If they are fighting for a good cause, I'm telling you, I will support them. The whole world will support them. But this is an ego war. Ego. Ego war. And you have killed the women, children. 11 million refugees, the biggest in the whole world. Do you know that Sudan is the worst humanitarian crisis in the whole world? No thanks to this RSF. Look at their name, Rapid Support Force. Is that a group or what? I don't understand. What are they fighting for? That is the question. What are they fighting for? If they are fighting for a good cause, maybe they are being oppressed, they want to free themselves and all that. There must be reason for the fight. But for you to just want to take the government, if you take the government, will any government, any country relate with you as a rebel group? No country, you can't even go international. Nobody will have a relationship, ambassadorial relationship with you. It can never happen. Because you are just a rebel group. And you are not fighting for any known cause. Except what? Ego war. You want to be in charge. In charge of what? That is the issue here. So that force, in fact, is the most useless war I've ever seen. Because I didn't see what anybody is fighting. Rapid Support Force. Who is supporting what? Who called them? So please, the African leaders should call a spade here. Nobody should support any rebel group that is fighting for. It's like these terrorists in Nigeria. Somebody saying that they support them. Support them for what? No, look at it. It's just like these terrorists in Nigeria, these bandits. What are they fighting for 15 years now that I kept Nigerian state busy? What are they fighting for? Can you mention that thing that they are after? Nothing. You can see. So you don't want to call a meeting of such people and I ask Tinubu to attend. That would be the worst. So that would be the worst infamy in the history of governance. That's what I'm saying here.
All right, then let's quickly talk about the son of late, or do I say former late or late former president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, who is in court over the shooting of a gardener at the Mugabe residence in Johannesburg, South Africa. Like, this is literally happening outside the country where his father used to be president. One would wonder the kind of impunity or reckless abandon that would, make him act in that way, where you have a firearm used on someone who is unarmed and who is a gardener. Would we say he was seeing this person beneath him? Or maybe he thought that his late father's power extended beyond the borders of Zimbabwe? Or is it just impunity? Is it just rudeness? Is it just the fact that, I'm the son of a former leader? What could happen?
Well, he will face it.
He is already facing it, actually.
Yes, he's not the only one. That's how they behave. These people that claim they're in authority, they don't see those beneath them as anything. You need to see how they treat them. They treat them as trash. On what ground will you shoot a gardener because you see him as a common gardener? Anyway, the state have come to his defense, and you are going to pay. It's a life for a life. Oh. It is a life for a life. No two ways about it. Let nobody come and play a son of a former leader. And so what? You are above the law? No, you must face it. Thank God everybody's eyes is on this matter. He must go in for it.
Now, while we're talking about this particular situation, you know that in South Africa, certain other African countries, including Nigeria, consider some South Africans to be hostile. Sometimes there are like what we call like xenophobic attacks taking place in those kind of places. Is there any, could he have been acting on self-defense,
Who? The son of
the shooter, although his bodyguard is also involved. So it's the whole situation is like, oh, they attacked someone because this is somebody who is rich. His family, for your family to have a family home in another country shows that you have strong ties to that country and you have a very good rapport or a very good relationship with that country to then act in this way.
I don't get it. Was it not a gardener that was shot?
A gardener, yes, it was a gardener.
So you mean the gardener attacked him? I don't get it. Is it not a gardener employed in that house? Where did the gardener get the gun to attack him and all? They are making all these things up, seriously. They are making it up. It's not possible for a gardener employed by you. Why would he attack you? It doesn't add up. They are trying to put up a defense, an alibi, but it will not work. It will not work. A gardener attack you with what? For what reason? It's not possible. They are making it up. Police should go into thorough investigation. Unfortunately, the gardener is dead, so nobody to speak for him. And they are trying to attack him with who? Who are many of them? Who are the attackers? Did you report to the police? And you have bodyguard with you? No, it's not possible. They want to cook up a story to cover the atrocity. No, it's not possible.
Seeing as he's the son of a former leader, though late, this was somebody who ruled Zimbabwe for 37 years. Certain people have come out, CSOs and others have come out to say that he should definitely face the music, and it looks like he is. But do you see anything in the justice system of South Africa or the relationship between both nations to show that he might escape this justice, or maybe he might be taken to Zimbabwe to face the music and then might be let off the hook with a slap on the wrist?
If it is South Africa, the South Africa that I know, the South Africa that went to the government house and pulled out their president, Jacob Zuma, for corruption. In fact, they dragged him out of office, prosecuted him, and even sent him out of ANC as a political party. This is a South Africa that jailed Julius Malema. This is the South Africa that Ramaphosa had to report things that concern him to government. There are so many reasons why I believe that justice will be served. Yes, as long as Ramaphosa is in office, I am very, very sure that that guy will go in for murder. He will go in.
The person is actually in critical condition. Let's hope that he doesn't lose his life. Let's now go over to Kenya, where a family in Nairobi is seeking help to repatriate the body of their 33-year-old relative who was killed in the Russia-Ukraine war. He was actually a civil servant in Kenya, and the family is wondering how exactly did he live for a period of time, and the people he was working with did not realize that he was gone. And how did he find himself in Russia to fight? There was actually a young Nigerian man who his family believed had died fighting for Russia, who surfaced in Ukraine. It happened that he was actually abducted or kidnapped by Ukrainian soldiers, and he's trying to find his way home. This is the story of many young African men who were advertised great opportunities in Russia, but then when they got there, they were drafted into the war because they never knew that that's what their maybe travel agent or the person who worked it out for them were taking them there for. Is it that Russia was so desperate to have people to fight for them that they do not mind having people enter the country under the guise of doing legal business or other kind of business to then fight for the country? How did this young man find himself in Ukraine? Do you see anything like trafficking going on here?
Whether it is trafficking or not, why is it that whenever the Western powers want somebody to do their dirty job, they will head to Africa to go and look for somebody who will fit into the bill, either our leaders or citizens? You saw Donald Trump bringing ex-convict into Africa. Now, Vladimir Putin is coming here to shop for poor African youths to go and fight his dirty war in Ukraine. The question is, why should it be so? That is the question. If you have an Africa that has good leaders, will they try this? Why didn't they go to China? They didn't go to China. They didn't go to Indonesia. Not even Saudi Arabia. They didn't go all these places. It is always Africa. Africa. It shows that something is wrong here. Seriously. God had left us long ago because of our bad leaders. There's no other. I won't blame Russia. I will never blame them. I will never blame them because they did not kidnap these people. They came willingly on their own. They put up a proposal and they fell for it. So why would you blame them? If Africa were to be good, who will go and fight in a foreign land in order to earn some money? Is that not what is driving them? Any other thing? After all, the war has nothing to do with Africa. If not for money, what else would drive any African youth to go and fight in that war? They promised them juicy package. So I won't blame anybody. I won't blame them. I will blame the African states that have bad leaders who don't want to make this continent a place to stay, a place to live. One woman was traveling through the Mediterranean Sea and she was rescued. And when the discussion was to take her back, because she was heading for Italy, she said she would rather die in that island than to go back to Africa. I felt bad. Seriously. She would rather die making an attempt to cross over than for her to go back to Africa. That is how bad it is. So when people do certain things, you go and look at the reason behind their action. Go and look at the reason behind their action.
It's a very terrible situation, actually, but still, is there no way we can hold Russia accountable for this? Yes, we understand that they want to win the war, but if you're bringing someone over to fight in the war, you should let them know that this is what is going on. There are certain young African men and women who will still go, even if they understand that they will be going to the front lines as long as they leave the shores of Africa. But under the guise of work, this one said he was told he was going to work as an engineer. And people are going there for school and they are being drafted to fight. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Good. Then they gave you gun and fight and force you to go into the battlefield.
You think they were not forced?
Are you serious?
Why
didn't they say it? Why didn't they say it? Please, Chioma, leave that thing. Why didn't they say they were forced to, just carry them and dump them in the battlefield? Is it possible? No training, no nothing. These are people without any military skill.
They could be held. They could be held to ransom.
No.
And they are Africans. We're already facing racial discrimination, whereby it's like, oh, just be in the front. Let it be that we have the numbers. Do you really think there is no possibility that they will not just give them just a little bit of training and put them at the war front?
So you agreed. You are sentenced to it. Why are you talking now?
Is there no possibility that these people could have been held to ransom? Imagine somebody comes up to you and says, oh, do you want to travel to Russia to work as an engineer? I can sponsor your trip, and when you get there, you work and pay me back. Just like the prostitution rings that we see that happen, where young girls are trafficked to Italy and other countries. They are told, oh, when you get there, you work as a maid or as a cleaner. But when they get there, they are being made to prostitute themselves, and the madams will say, you have to work and pay me back. And these people find themselves in this cycle for many years.
Look, these things they are telling me now is medicine after death. They had the opportunity of saying, no, I want to go back. I want to go. This is not what you promised me. Why couldn't they say so? They have entered into the war. They have collected all the juice. You mean they didn't give them anything? They didn't receive anything, Abi? Is it possible? And they are still there. There are many organizations they can resort to in Russia that can rescue them if I thought they were kidnapped. But I know they were not kidnapped. They accepted the proposal, and now they are saying another thing. I don't think they were, even if that you cannot be forced into the battlefield. You cannot be forced to go and fight. They gave you gun. You didn't, what am I doing with this? This is not what, you drop it and say, nobody will put a gun on your head and say, if you don't fight, we are going to kill you. It can never happen. Never. So they know what they were going for. That is it. Nobody could have forced them to go into the battle, the actual battle.
So you believe that these young African men from Kenya, from Nigeria, and other countries, they are lying about being drafted with lies to Russia?
They are not being sincere. They went for the
They know that you are saying they knew they were going there to fight.
Yes,
but when they went there and saw the reality of war, now they want to come back. So they are lying that they didn't know they were going there to fight.
Exactly. So what are you telling me? They knew what they were going for. It's just that things turned out. They never knew. These are people without a military background. If it were people who went a wall from their military, a different African military, it's okay. They have military skill. They have military background. How do you draft a civilian into a war? No, tell me, is it possible? It's not possible now. They knew they wanted to take the risk. And now they discovered that the risk is too much. They are looking for a way out. So let them not tell me that story.
All right, then. We need to continue the African news right here on VOP TV. Barrister Darlington Agomo, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your own perspective.
My pleasure.
You're still watching the African news on Voice of the People television. When we return, flood in DR Congo's Maniema province leaves over 2,500 households homeless. This and more stories coming your way after this break. Join us again.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
On
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations.
Heavy rains in Maniema Province, Democratic Republic of Congo, have caused the Congo River and Ulindi River to overflow, displacing hundreds of residents in the villages of Kasera, Tubila, and Ulindi. The floods have reportedly affected at least 2,533 households, with many homes, schools, health facilities, and drinking water sources destroyed or submerged. Local authorities and humanitarian organizations are assessing the damage, warning that affected residents may face hunger due to destroyed food plantations and fish ponds. Reports say the floods have exacerbated an already dire situation in the region, with ongoing conflict and mass displacement contributing to food insecurity and health risks. Meanwhile, civil society leader Jean-Claude Ngoy has appealed for support from provincial and national authorities as well as humanitarian actors to address the crisis. In a related development, heavy rains in Zimbabwe have killed 123 people and affected over 250,000 others, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. More than 1,300 families have been displaced due to the floods. The rains have caused significant infrastructural damage, leaving 211 bridges in critical condition and damaging over 200 schools and 15 health facilities. OCHA notes that the situation is exacerbated by cholera outbreaks in neighboring Zambia and Mozambique, raising public health concerns. The Zimbabwean government and humanitarian organizations are working to respond to the crisis with efforts focused on providing shelter, safe water, and essential health services to those affected. We take you straight to the world of business, where the South African rand strengthened in early trade on Monday, with investors focusing on the 2026 national budget to be presented later this week. At 6:30, the rand traded at 15.9925 against the dollar, up 0.4% from its previous close. The rand's gain is attributed to a relatively favorable macroeconomic backdrop and anticipation of Finance Minister Enoch Gondongwana's budget speech on Wednesday. Investors are looking for insights into the government's fiscal priorities, debt management strategies, and planned economic reforms. The South African benchmark 2035 government bond also shows strength, with yields falling 2.5 basis points to 7.97%. Oil producer Capricorn Energy expects higher production in 2026 compared to last year, an expectation driven by the expansion of its Egypt operations. The company forecasts 2026 production in the range of 18 to 22,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day, supported by a joint venture with Chevron Oil and Gas and the Egyptian General Petroleum Corporation, EGPC. The agreement, signed in May, merges 8 concessions in Egypt into a single deal, expected to boost production and unlock significant contingent resources. Capricorn's Energy CEO, Randy Neely, said the company has entered 2026 with strong momentum, underpinned by a robust balance sheet and development opportunities in the merged concession. Now, sports. Algerian club USM Alger has appointed Senegalese coach Lamine Ndiaye as the new head coach until the end of the 2025-2026 season, with a possible contract extension. USM Alger disclosed this in a statement, saying the contract extension is hinged on Ndiaye's ability to meet targets set by the club management. 69-year-old Ndiaye replaces Abdelhak Ben Sheikha, who left the club in January. Ndiaye will lead the team in the CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final against Maniema next month. The club says it aims to strengthen its technical leadership during this crucial stage. Still in sports, the West African Football Union Zone A, also known as WAFU A, has unveiled a 6 tournament calendar for 2026, featuring the return of the Amilcar Cabral Cup hosted by Guinea from August 15 to 30. The tournament will bring together WAFU A member nations focusing on youth and women's football development. The Cabral Cup's revival aims to revitalize competition for local players, with Guinea hosting the inaugural edition. WAFU A Executive Director Mapartha Gaye emphasizes its importance in the region's football identity. The tournament will now be staged biennially, showcasing domestic-based players. And that's all on the African news. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Voice of the People TV and on other social media platforms at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@voiceofthepeople.ng. I'm Chioma Innocent.
TOP-TV. Now, you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shakes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debate,